So good morning, everybody. This is stationary pumps for fire protection. We're going to be discussing today some of the rules and regulations of NFPA, what goes into those rules, and hopefully get you a little bit more interested in fire pumps in each of your segments. So with that, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So, stationary fire pumps. For our learning objectives today, we want to identify the conditions where fire pumps are required. Who is it that says we need fire pumps? Where are they? What buildings are we going to find these in? We're also going to see three key requirements of NFPA, what basically is the basic foundation for this pamphlet and for this regulation. We're also going to identify three components of a fire pump. What is it basically that the manufacturer has responsibility for? What is this authority having jurisdiction, and what is this ULFM that we hear of so often? We're going to define the four types of fire pumps. We will also talk about the two acceptable fire pump drivers. And then we will define the requirements for the fire pump controllers, and we'll also talk about some common accessories, at least the three common accessories for fire pumps. So, to get started, when are fire pumps needed? Well, basically, you need a fire pump when it's required, when the city's water pressure or the water pressure that's being used is not adequate to meet the demands of the structure, automatic or manual fire protection system. So what does this mean? Well, everybody knows that we have a city pressure at the city main lines, or whichever water that we're using to protect the building with. The building also has a requirement per the code, per NFPA 13, as to how much fluid is going to be needed to put out a certain fire. And that is based on hazardous area, how it's used. Is it a warehouse? Is it public use? Is it a restaurant? Is there going to be grease? Is there boxes, rack storage? Whatever the case may be, there are different issues. And this is very important to understand by the designer who's going to design the building, and then he tells us exactly how much water and what kind of pressure he's going to need. That is when it's decided at that point, well, I do not have enough pressure in the system, there's not enough flow, I need a supplemental pump to basically improve the pressure of the building. We talked a little bit about where the water comes from. So in most cases, what we're going to see, some of the typical water sources is ground storage tanks. We'll also see reservoirs, cisterns, ponds,